Hi, it's Walking Man. It's August 5th, 2021, and I'm continuing my hike on the Continental Divide Trail. And this particular segment, I'm trying to do a segment once in a while when something strikes me as like I've learned something on the trail. Um, this doesn't look like I'm in the middle of the woods because I'm not. I'm in Grand Lake, which is a trail town. Uh, and I'm going to just show you around. I'm staying in a hostel, really lovely hostel in Grand Lake. I highly recommend it. Just real quickly, this is the lodge. And this is the view out of it, is out looking over all these. And as you can see, today is a lovely day. And that has been an exception. The reason I want to talk about today is adversity. And I heard, I've done the Appalachian Trail and I've done the PCT, and they're hard. And I'm finding this trail even harder. And this last week from Copper Mountain, Colorado to Grand Lake was about 100 miles. And I just found it really, really difficult. I was ground down physically. And then that the weather every day except for today rained and had lightning and thunder. One day I went to bed, it started raining at 5 o'clock at night. When I woke up, it was still raining, and it rained all day through the night except for 2 hours during the day. Adversity. My left foot is swollen about a half inch right now. I'm not sure what it is. I have about 75 fly bites on my legs from a bushwhack area that I went through. They were just killing me. I've had wet feet every day, wet tent. My sleeping pad is an inflatable Thermarest Uber light, and it popped, which I thought no big deal. I have patches. However, it broke in the actual valve, which I don't know how to fix or if it's fixable. So I've got to return that. So I've had 2 weeks of sleeping on just the dirt. One day I was going across, I did a 3,200 foot climb to a 13,300 foot peak. And then you have this, what could have been a beautiful 10-mile, 12,000 foot ridgeline walk. But when I did it, it was raining the entire time, and the fog was so thick that you couldn't see maybe 100 feet. There's no trail up there. For the most part, you're just looking from pole to pole, and you couldn't see the next pole, so you had to sort of go off in the direction. Wind was howling. It was in the 40s. Just really uncomfortable. Again, adversity. That I ended up, my hands lost their feeling, so I set up the tent at 11:30 for 2 hours just to warm up. I tried to use my cell phone, and my hands were so cold they wouldn't register on the phone. Okay, what's the purpose of saying this sad story? As in the moment, each of those things was irritating and a little bit scary in terms of the ridgeline, frankly. But as I've been reflecting on it, that I'm starting to, I look for things to learn out here about myself. And I'm starting to think that resilience, I'm still going on the trail. I'm undeterred. And the resilience, I'm starting to think, is like with a lot of things, it's not just that you're born with it or you have it or you don't, that you have a certain degree of it, like you're a certain aptitude for golf or a certain aptitude for a sport or music or whatever. But to be really good at it, you need to practice it and get better and hone your craft. And I think with resilience, one of the things that long distance hiking gives us, and it certainly gave it to me this week, was practice at being resilient and the ability to hopefully strengthen that. And so it's not just hiking challenges where I can use that. It's all the adversity that you encounter in your life. And so I'm kind of, in a way, grateful that was such a tough stretch. I hope that the next stretch to Steamboat Springs is less adverse, but if it is, I'll continue to try to learn from it. But I'm looking at this last 100 miles as quite a gift. That I got a lot of practice, and I feel like it has reinforced my resiliency, and I'm grateful for that. At any rate, that's more thoughts from the CDT. Take care.